Okay, so cabbage. Cabbage is a fun crop to harvest, and then the trick is to just make sure that we're finding nice round heads that are ready to go. So in this little section here, there's kind of a wide array of maturity in these heads. When the plant is developing, it's really leafy and there's not really a head formed yet. So in this plant right here, you can start to see the inner leaves curling over to make a head, but there's no firm head developed. The leaves are loose, they're loosely wrapped, they're not like a tight ball yet. So this is still growing. As we move down the line, you'll see this is starting to form a little bit of a head. The leaves are getting a little tighter. This one's very close. These leaves are going to actually wrap around and continue to develop that head. So we could leave that one a little bit longer. But if we come all the way down here, we see this head, and we see that the leaves are, if you look down on this head, first of all, it's curling it all the way down to the base of the cabbage, and it's firm. So there's no softness to it. It's a nice solid, tightly bound up head. So we can harvest this one, and you can just sort of see that that's a nicely formed head. So harvesting cabbage is similar to lettuce and other crops that we use a harvesting knife for. Again, we have two sharp edges here. I'm going to use this edge to push through the main stem. And again, we're locating this drip line. We really don't want to cut this drip line. It causes us lots of headaches. So we're staying away from that. I'm pushing the head a little bit in the direction that I want to cut. And I'm just slicing right at the base of the head. You don't have to cut it below all the leaves. You just want to cut it at the base of the head of the cabbage. So I'm just going to push it right through there. Cut it off. And then we're going to take all these loose leaves off. We don't want to fill the crate with all these big loose leaves. We want to take it all the way down to the head. So all these leaves can come off. All the loose ones are coming off. You can either break them off or you can cut them off. This has a nice cleanup effect. It gets all the, if there's any bugs on it, you know, they're gonna be on the outer leaves. And look how colorful it gets once you pull off that loose stuff. And then we do one last cleanup cut. We want this to be nice and we don't want a big stem to be on there. We want it to be a nice flush with the head. So a nice clean cut. And then it gets placed gently into the crate. Please don't throw these. They do crack open and break. So we want to place them gently into the crate, and they'll get washed back at the washing station.
What do we do with the leftover leaves? Just
Yeah, they can be left right here in the field, and people will walk on them. That's fine. They will decompose, and they'll feed the soil for the future crops.
And then is this plant done once we harvest the head? Or
Believe it or not, yeah, great question. Believe it or not, this actually is going to try to grow more little side cabbages. There's going to be like little baby cabbages coming out of here, and those actually can be harvested. So this plant will probably have 4, maybe only 3 new little heads, because this plant's determined to produce seeds and continue the species. So it's going to try, and it can be harvested again.